We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Hello, welcome. Episode 2 in volume 2. We're doing the painting thing. Welcome back. Okay, in this episode, what we're going to be painting is a shiny chrome and carbon fiber car with your favorite logo plastered on the side of it. I've already got the normal things loaded up. I've got my template. Today I'm going to be painting on a Volkswagen Beetle. You can paint on whatever car you want here today. It's totally up to you. We're doing it Bob Ross style. The other thing you're going to need is a nice clean carbon fiber print. Just some carbon fiber that you've picked up off the internet. Doesn't really matter. And your favorite logo. Today we're using my Motorboat Motorsports. It's just a fictitious company, fictitious logo. Nobody owns it. Me and my AI assistant created that one pretty well specifically for these race cars. And lastly, a blank file for your spec map. Go ahead and export that spec map to the proper file. Export your template to the proper file. And we're just going to dive right into it today. Here we go. Very first thing, I'm getting rid of this custom spec map. Going to delete those layers. Going to expand these groups so I can see what we're doing. All the way down to the base level. Base layer. I want to pick a white color because I'm going to need this to be chrome when we're done. Edit. Fill with foreground color. I want the whole dang thing just full of that color. I'm gonna go ahead, grab our carbon fiber layer, drag it over and just throw it down on top of our car. M for move. I'm gonna grab that carbon fiber. I'm gonna slide it on down. Yeah, part way up the door, right below where that fancy little decal is already sitting. Right there, give it a little tiny bit of space just so it flows with the car. That looks pretty decent. I'm going to turn on the wireframe to see what in the world this is over here. That looks like it's going to be the top of the car fenders. So I'm going to have to make sure that I clean that up real quick. Just going to go ahead and grab that eraser tool. Just erase this section here. And erase that section there. Now I'm going to go back over to that layer that we're working on. I'm going to make a duplicate of it. I'm going to move it all the way up here. And then I'm going to shift flip it. Not ship flipped it. Then I'm going to M to move. I'm going to grab a hold of it. Bring it on down where we are. That line there. Nope, that's the wrong line. We're up here. I'm gonna zoom in, make sure that we're kind of close in the right area as the same other one. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit closer. I think that's pretty well bang on. I'm going to zoom out using my negative key on my number pad. Look what's going on. That looks about right to me. I think we're going to make that stick right there. Okay, really great. I'm going to grab another one of our carbon fiber panels. Bring it into our car and throw it on down. I'm going to shift and rotate this bad boy, and I'm going to pull it a whole 90 degrees clockwise. I'm going to rotate it to make it stick. Hit M to move. Grab a hold of this sucker right here, right by the nose. Now, I'm not sure exactly what's going to be what on this car. So I'm just experimenting with where I want to put this. And honestly, I think the first thing I want to do is I want these wheel well covers to all be made of carbon fiber. So I'm going to Control Z to undo my move and do it again to undo my flip. I'm going to make sure my move tool is activated up here. I'm going to grab a hold of it. Just bring it right on down so it's kind of catching both corners of this without catching too much of anything else, because I want to grab my eraser tool now. I'm just going to erase off of that layer, off of the base car, rather. I could pretty well erase everything else as well. I don't want anything else to be interfering with, or sorry, I don't want that layer to be interfering with anything else. So now back to that buffer. I just dropped that layer. I'm going to make a duplicate, shift, flip that bad boy. Now it's hidden here behind my mask. I can't really see where it went. So I'm just going to go back over to my layers. I'm going to turn my mask off so now I can see it again. M from my move tool. I'm going to grab a hold of it. And I'm going to bring right back up to where that other one was. Just catching both edges of it. Just like that. Very, very good. Very, very close. Negative button to zoom back out. Look what's going on. So far, so good. I'm going to grab another carbon fiber panel. I'm going to just drop it right back in there. Going to move it up to this front fender panel. Just kind of line it up so it's catching all of it. We're going to zoom in with my positive number panel. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Back to my eraser. Just going to get rid of it off of the pieces that we don't want it on. That's all I'm going to do here. Don't want it there. I don't want it here. That's all. I want it there. Take that. I'm going to make another duplicate layer. Shift, flip. Flip it over. There it is. M for move. Grab it on down here. Just make sure it's catching all that panel. Everything I want it to. That's where I want it. Now, I think that's probably getting close to what we're doing. I'm going to turn on the mask again, turn off the wire. I'm going to export this card to our file that we've had it on. Control E for export. I've already exported it to the proper spot, so we don't have to go through all of that again. So this is the car without the paint job on it. Nothing's been done. And now let's have a look at what we've done so far. We've put some carbon fiber paneling on it. We've got those wheel wells, I guessed right. We've got the side panel up the door a little ways. That looks pretty decent. Now we've got to make sure that we get that whole front end done. None of the hood. We'll leave the hood the way it is. And we're going to want to cover that back panel as well with some carbon fiber, just so it all matches and blends. Nice and even flow with the car panels. So back into GIMP, I guess. Here we go. I've got my headset on and I don't know why. I'm going to grab another carbon fiber panel, take it over here, throw it down. This one, we are going to shift and rotate. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Rotate it to make it stick. M to move it. Grab hold of this and pull it right down here. Somewhere. Make sure we catch everything we want. I'm not sure exactly where everything is. Good. Turn that mask back on. Zoom in to see what in the world. Over here, find the center line. There it is there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So now back over to my layers. Gonna grab that layer, make a duplicate of it. I'm gonna shift, flip, pick that flip tool. I'm gonna flip that over. M for move. I'm gonna grab a hold of it. Pull it along. Put it back into place. Zoom in with my positive number key to see really good what's going on here. Exactly. I like to overlap this white line by 1 pixel, or by 1 click, I guess is what you can say. Because then everything on both sides of your bumper are going to line up with carbon fiber in both directions. Instead of it just all being splayed in the same direction across the back bumper, this is going to line up in 2 directions across the back bumper. Just look a little bit nicer. Control and E, going to export that. Refresh. See how it's crisscrossed now, a pattern across both, instead of just going the same direction across the whole back bumper. It crisscrosses, meets in the middle, looks way better. Doesn't match up nicely here where the seam of the car is, but on a real car that wouldn't line up anyway, I don't imagine, unless you're magic, I think. So that's pretty good. Let's go back over to our GIMP. We're gonna zoom out here. I'm gonna need, well, actually, let's just make a copy of the buffer we've already got. Grab it and bring it to the front bumper now. Over here. Let's zoom in to see real closely what we're doing. Gonna line it up with the center line. Bring it up just above the tip of this bumper here. Make sure that that bumper's covered. Zoom in again. Make sure that we've got over that center line. Just like that. Okay. Well, that's good, but we need to erase some of this. We need to erase everything that's not on our front bumper. Just very carefully, just like that. I'm going to reduce the size of my eraser quite a bit here. Zooming in. Just getting the carbon fiber off the hood panel. That's all I'm doing. Zoom out. There. That's pretty good to me. Now I'm going to take that layer. I'm going to make a duplicate of it. I'm going to move it first of all. Grab hold of it. Move it down here, because when I flip it, it's going to try and disappear up under my skin again. Shift F for flip. I'm going to zoom in so I can see exactly where I'm grabbing. Flip it just like that. M for move. Zoom in real nice and tight so I can line it up as closely as possible. Well, it doesn't seem to be wanting to line up quite how I want it to. Ah, that's why. Okay, there. Now it's lined up nice and even. I think that's good. That should cover the front bumper. Gonna turn off the wire so that we have a nice clean view of what's going on. I think that looks okay. Control and E to export it. Back to our iracing, and we'll reload. There, we've got nice carbon fiber bumpers, carbon fiber fenders, rear bumper. Everything else is white. Right to underneath of that line, just like we planned. Look at that. Cool. Okay, so it's got some decal layers on here, some sticker layers that I don't really want on there. So let's go back into our trading paints. Our GIMP. Now from here in our layers, we'll be able to find the layer that we want that all these stickers are on. And if we're lucky, we can just turn them off. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. We already checked that one. This is the one. But there are some stickers on here that I like. I like these ones. I like those ones on the front. I'd kind of like to leave those ones where they are. I don't want to get rid of all of them. So I'm just going to select that layer. Grab that eraser. I'm just going to erase the ones I don't want. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I don't want these ones. This we're going to leave for a second. And we'll get back to that headliner in a minute. So now with all of those decal layers erased, I'm going to Control and E and back into our iracing. Reload that. There, we've got rid of those stickers that I didn't want on there. They're gone. Nameplate's still there. It's going to be. Number plate is still there. It's going to be. We're going to leave those because we kind of want those. The nameplate, though, I'd sure like to change what's going on with that nameplate. Let's get back to that. Okay, let's see. Car decal layer is selected. I think I'd like to make that nameplate. I think I'd also like to make that our carbon fiber. So I'm going to drag in some carbon fiber. Activate our wire so we can see what we're doing. Make sure I'm in the move. Grab this. Pull it all the way up here. Line it up with the center and zoom in. I want to make sure that I'm catching this far corner over here as well. That's about as good as it's going to get. I'm going to grab my eraser. Just get rid of the stuff I don't want. None of that. Get rid of it. Take this layer. I'm going to make a duplicate of it. And move it. I'm going to move it way over here so that when I flip it, it doesn't disappear. Shift flip. Now, if I just flip it now, it's going to go up and down. So what I have to do is I have to control which direction I flip this in. So if I press and hold Control, you can see my cursor changes. Normal flip is up and down. If I control that flip with the control button, I can flip it sideways. So here now I'll flip it sideways, and there it went. Learning new tricks all the time. I learn a new trick almost every time I do a paint. So now I'm going to grab it, pull it all the way back over, just line it back up with this other one. Make sure it's catching that bottom corner over there. I'm going to zoom in on it. We'll zoom in. Make sure that it's nice and even here. Grab on, pull it over. That looks good to me. That looks real good. Okay, so I'm going to turn off that wire. Control and E to export it. Excuse me. Back over to iracing. Going to refresh this. There, that headliner. That's better. Well, with all that carbon fiber, that rear spoiler is starting to look like a sore thumb. So, let's fix that. Back over here, let's zoom all the way out. Let's see. This up here is going to be some of our wing. This is going to be the center section of our wing. Rear wing. This is what we're going to paint now. I'm going to turn that wire back on, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab our carbon fiber, we're going to drag it into there, throw it down. We're going to move it close to the center, just catching as much of it as we can and just kind of line it up. Zoom in with the positive button so we can line it up as what? Well, how phony are we? Just like that. That's good. I'm going to grab my eraser and get rid of the stuff we don't want. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because there's a lot of stuff we don't want. Just like that. Perfecto. Grab my move tool so I don't accidentally do anything I don't want. Back over to that layer. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to shift flip and control the flip to flip it over there. Grab the move tool. Grab a hold of it. Bring it back over here where it belongs. I'm going to zoom in with my positive button. Line it up really, really nicely. It's got to go down a little bit. It's got to go over. Oh, it's got to go up. Up a little more. Oh, right there. Yep, that's where it belongs. Now we've got to do this bottom wing too. So let's grab another sheet of carbon fiber. This would be an expensive car, I think. Bring it over here. Kind of line it up. Zoom in. Just catch the top of that corner so that it's easy to line up later on. Too far. There we go. That'll do. Grab that layer. I'm going to make another layer just like it. Shift F for flip. Got to control the direction of flip. Flip it. M for move. Grab a hold of it. Slide it on over here. Line it up. Zoom in. See, make sure. That looks pretty good to me. Grab my eraser and get rid of the stuff we don't want over here. I think that's all right. Let's turn off that wire. Control and E to export. Back over to our iracing. And let's reload. Oh. Well, there's something different going on. So with the stamps not showing, the spoiler shows our paint color. With the stamps showing, it does not. So that's okay. We're going to leave it. That's fine. I'm not sure how it's going to end up in the final paint, but whatever. That's okay. So far, that's enough carbon fiber for anybody. Now, let's grab our decal layer, our stickers. This is our logo that we're going to use today. Use whatever logo you want. Your favorite drink, your favorite whatever. I don't care. Make one up. Shift S for scale. Shrink it down so it fits on the car. Also going to turn on this wire so I can see how well it fits on the car. Move it down to the door. It's still too big. A little bit more. Move it up. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on. I want her to fit on the door. Oh yeah, but this thing's going to have numbers too. So let's turn them on. Well, that's not interfering with anything. So, fits the door. Flows the car. Perfect. Let's scale that just the way it is. Grab it. Let's make a duplicate layer of that. I want to keep this on a guideline so that they're even on both sides. So I'm going to pull a guideline over. I'm also going to check exactly where this is lining up. She's just above the green on the door. Beautiful. So now I still got that layer. I'm going to rotate it. Flip it all the way over. Rotate it to stick. M to move. Grab onto her by the elbow. Slide her on down just there. That's where the other one is. Zoom out. Looks about right. pretty darn good. Let's grab that original real quick too. Make another duplicate. We're going to rotate it too. But we're only going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now, we're going to M for move. Grab a hold of it. Right up there. Right where that Volkswagen sign was before. I'm not sure if that'll be upside down or not, but we'll find out. Okay, let's export that. Control and E, export. Yep. Back to iracing. Let's reload. I guess it's upside down. So let's go flip that around. We're still on that layer, so we're just going to shift rotate. And we'll slide that slider all the way across. That'll rotate it all the way over. Rotate it to stick. Control and E to export. Back in here and reload. There. Facing the right direction. Okay, that's all well and good, but I did say this was going to be a chrome car. So, let's take our empty spec map file. Make sure you've already got it exported. And let's change the color. Yeah, perfect. Nope, that's a lie. Here's what we're going to do. Where's my color wheel? There it is. Okay. I'm going to build a custom color scheme so you guys can see how this will work. I want that white to be chrome. So I want it to be smooth as possible, as shiny as possible, and as metallic as possible. I end up with a bright red color. I'm just going to fill the whole thing, export it like that. Now, we're chrome. Shiny, 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 chrome. But it's put a funny sheen, a chrome sheen on our logo. And I kind of like it, but it's not supposed to have that bright of a sheen. So I'm just going to slap a bit of a mask over top of that, so it's not quite as metallic as all that. So to do that, we've got to go back to the car, and I've got 1, 2, 3 of those logos. So I'm just going to take that logo. I'm going to make a whole new logo, not a duplicate at all, just a brand new empty pane of glass. I'm going to name it Mask, because that's actually more accurate than what I was naming it before. Okay, now selecting that first logo, I'm going to go to select by color. I'm going to select that logo and go on to our mask. We're going to change that color. I don't want it as metallic. I want it a little less metallic and a little less shiny. I want to keep it smooth though, but maybe a little less shiny than that even. Yeah, I do want to keep the paint texture smooth, so I'm not adding any roughness to it. Just taking down the metallic and just bringing in a little bit of matte, taking out, moving it towards the matte side of the scale. So that weird purpley color Mask is selected. We got this. Edit. Fill. Good. Grab that next one. Select by color. I'm gonna selector. Back over to the mask. Edit. Fill. Grab that other one. Go to the select. By color. That one. Edit. Fill. So now I've got those filled already. I can hide it. I messed up. There. Edit. Fill. There. That's better. Now I can hide that. Don't even have to worry about it. Select none to get rid of that blinking selection. I'm gonna grab this mask. Drag it right over there. Throw it down. Just like that. Control E, export. Back over to my iracing. Gonna reload that up. And as you can see, that shiny level has been taken off of my logo. One on the roof. One on the side. Everything else is chrome. Carbon fiber. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to load it up and race that car. You go ahead, load yours up too. Race it. Enjoy your painting.